You know this scene, right? You look over and there's your dog just snoozing the day away on the sofa. And it's so easy to think, wow, what a lazy life. But what if all that sleeping isn't really about laziness at all? What if it's a huge signpost pointing to something much deeper, something we might be missing entirely? Okay, let's get into this.
So really, I want you to think about your dog. When you see them napping, are they just bored? Or could their sleep, or maybe their lack of quality sleep, be telling you something really important about how they're feeling, especially when it comes to hidden pain?
All right, first things first, we have to completely reframe how we think about our dog's sleep. Seriously, it's not a luxury, it's not a sign of boredom, it is a fundamental biological need, just as critical as the food they eat and the water they drink.
So how much do they actually need? Well, a healthy adult dog needs to be asleep for about 50% of a 24-hour day. Yeah, 50%. That's anywhere from 10 to 14 hours. I don't know about you, but I am definitely not getting that much sleep. And this right here is where a huge misunderstanding usually comes in.
See, here's the core difference in our biology. We're what you call monophasic sleepers. We aim to get our sleep all in one long chunk overnight. But dogs, they're polyphasic. So yeah, they'll sleep overnight with us for sure, but that's just not enough for them. They have to take several naps during the day to actually meet their biological needs. So that daytime snooze, it's not laziness, it's literally a biological imperative.
To really get why this is all so important, we need to peek inside their brain when they doze off. I want you to think of a good sleep session not like flipping an off switch, but more like building a tower, one block at a time.
Okay, so let's see how this tower gets built. First, you've got the foundation, N1, which is drifting off. Then comes N2, light sleep, where the body starts to chill out and prepare for the good stuff. Only after those two stages can they get to the most valuable floors, N3, deep sleep, which is for physical body repair, and then the penthouse, REM sleep, for brain repair and processing memories. You have to build the bottom floors to ever get to the top.
And this is where it all falls apart, literally. Any little disturbance, a noise, someone nudging them, or a sudden flare of pain, it just knocks that whole tower over. The dog wakes up and the entire building process has to start all over again, right from the bottom. So they might be sleeping for hours, but if they keep getting knocked out of the cycle, they never actually reach those vital, restorative top floors of deep and REM sleep. And this brings us right to the absolute heart of the issue for so many dogs, especially ones dealing with things like arthritis. It's this destructive feedback loop, a vicious cycle that is absolutely a two-way street. Yeah, as veterinary surgeon Lauren Davis points out, we all kind of get that pain-disturbed sleep. That part seems obvious, but the conversation usually just stops there. We don't talk about the devastating knock-on effect of what that bad sleep then does to the pain itself.
And that's the crucial point. It's like this relentless game of ping pong. The dog's pain makes it hard for them to get that deep, restorative sleep they need. But then that exact lack of sleep physically makes their perception of pain even worse, which, you guessed it, makes it even harder to sleep. It just goes on and on and on.
But how? How does this actually work? Why does a tired brain physically feel more pain? Well, it's not all in their head. This is pure biology, and the science behind it is pretty fascinating. First up, you get something called glutamate soup. See, during deep sleep, the brain is supposed to be doing some housekeeping, clearing out pain-signaling chemicals like glutamate. If a dog doesn't get enough of that deep sleep, these chemicals build up, leaving their pain-sensing neurons just swimming in this hypersensitive soup. This makes those areas of the brain over 120% more active. The same ache literally feels more than twice as bad. Next, you've got the dopamine drought. Now, dopamine isn't just for feeling happy. It's one of the brain's most powerful natural painkillers. But a sleep-deprived brain really struggles to produce it. This is like trying to fight a fire after someone's shut your water off. The brain loses one of its most critical tools for managing its own discomfort. And finally, my personal favorite, the leaky portcullis. Your brain has this amazing sleep gate, kind of like a filter, that blocks out low-level noise and sensations so you can stay asleep. When a dog is sleep-deprived, this gate starts to malfunction. It gets leaky, and it allows these minor pain signals, the kind it would normally just ignore, to break through and wake the dog up, starting that whole tower-toppling cycle all over again. Okay, so we get the problem, we get the science, and yeah, it sounds like a pretty daunting cycle. But the really good news is we can actually intervene. We can become the architects of a better sleep environment for our dogs. So here is your action plan. It all starts with the bed. Let's get this right. We're looking for supportive memory foam, not one of those super soft, poofy beds that an arthritic dog actually feels kind of insecure on. The bed has to be big enough for them to totally stretch out. Don't let their curled up sleeping pose fool you. And it needs to be easy to just walk onto with low or open sides so they never, ever feel trapped.
And it's not just the bed itself, right? The whole environment matters. Put their main bed in a quiet part of the house, away from all the foot traffic in the kitchen or hallway. Make sure the temperature is comfy, not too hot, not too cold. And this is so important. Establish a rule for the whole family. When the dog is sleeping, you let them sleep. Respecting the nap is a massive part of their health care.
So the next time you see your dog sleeping, please don't just see laziness, see this incredibly complex biological process that might actually need your help. Because when we talk about managing chronic pain, our minds go to medication and therapy. But maybe, just maybe, one of the most powerful tools we have is something so much simpler. And it really leaves us with a question: could providing the perfect place to rest actually be the best medicine of all?